Hi everyone. We are going to be solving using our properties of isosceles triangles that you just watched on the Prezi video, which the main thing we learned about was in an isosceles triangle, the base angles are congruent. So those are the angles that are across from your congruent sides. So we're going to be using that theorem to help us solve for, in the first triangle, we're solving for the measure of angle E. Okay, so eventually we're trying to figure out what this angle is right here in the triangle. Okay, so we're going to start here and kind of work our way through the triangle to get to angle E. Okay, which I'm going to start by only focusing on this triangle right here. So I know that it's an isosceles triangle because I have two sides that are congruent. Okay, in an isosceles triangle, the base angles are congruent, which there's several ways you can think about a base angle. The base angles are across from your congruent sides. That's the way I look at them. Another way to see it, the base, which is the side across from your vertex angle, the base has to be one of the sides of your angle. So like this angle has a base as a side and this angle. Or you can say it's the angle that is not created by the two congruent sides. So like this angle up here is created by the two congruent sides, and that is our vertex angle. These two angles down here do not have two congruent sides on each piece of the angle. So whatever you need to do to remember what a base angle is, that's on you. But anyway, so the way I like to look at it are the angles across from my congruent sides are going to be congruent. So like if I draw an arrow from this side across, the angle it's looking at is B. Same with this one. If I go to the angle across from it, the angle it's looking at is angle BCA. So I know that this angle is congruent to this angle because in an isosceles triangle, the base angles are congruent. Okay, so if I know that is 96 degrees, how could I find out what these two angles are going to be? All right, well, I know that all three angles are in a triangle that are going to add up to be 180. Okay, and I don't know, I'm just going to call each of these angles X. Why not? And since they're congruent, they're both going to be X. Okay, so using the triangle angle sum theorem, I know that these three angles will add up to be 180. So I'm going to do that first to help me figure out what angle X is going to be. Okay, so I know that 96 plus this angle, so angle X, plus this angle, which is also X, should add up to be 180. So let's get going. All right, so X plus X, these are my like terms right here. Let's see here, I'm going to use pretty blue. All right, these are my like terms, and X plus X will give me a 2X. Okay, so this is 96 degrees plus 2X equals 180. All right, now I need to solve this thing for X because it'll get me one of these angles, which will help me work my way to angle E. Okay, so to solve for X, I need to bring 96 to the other side, which the way I'm going to do that is by subtracting 96 on both sides. All right, which 96 minus 96 cancels and turns to 0. 180 minus 90 is going to give, or 96 is going to give me 84. So this is going to be 2X equals 84. Losing pins. All right, so we have 2X equals 84. All right, and now I need to solve for X. So my 2 is secretly multiplying to my X. So the way we move it to the other side is by dividing that thing on both sides. Which 2 divided by 2 cancels out, and 84 divided by 2 will give me 42. So X is 42 degrees. Yeah. Okay, so I know that this is 42 degrees as well as this angle is 42 degrees. All right, so my X's are 42 degrees in these angles. So now that I know what all three of these angles are, how could I work my way from this triangle into this triangle? Because angle E is in that triangle. Do you spot any special angle pairs that might allow me to get my 42 into this triangle somehow? Do you guys see it? I see him. Do you guys see the X right here? Holy hot dog, there's an X right here and here. What kind of angles form at the X? You guys are so smart. They are the vertical angles. So vertical angles we know are congruent. So if this one is 42 degrees, this one's going to be congruent to it. So I'm going to use the same amount of markings, which means this one's also 42 degrees. Nice. All right, so I'm so close to solving for angle E. Okay, so now I'm just going to focus on this little triangle right here, which I'm just going to draw it separate so you guys can see it a little better since I've kind of marked it all up. Okay, it's kind of like that. All right, we have E, C, D. So this is triangle ECD. But anyway, so in triangle ECD, currently I know that this is 42 degrees right here. That's 42. Sorry, I know it's hard to see. And I know that these two sides are congruent based off my picture. So what kind of triangle is this, you guys? Holy hot dog, it's another isosceles triangle, which means the base angles are going to be congruent. Okay, so again, I like to visualize it across from the congruent side. So my base angle are the angles across from my congruent sides, which would make these angles. So I know that angle D and angle E should be congruent. Okay, so if I know these two are congruent, which I'll call each of these X again, kind of like I did up here, this is going to be pretty similar to this one, you guys. So I know that this is 42 degrees. That's 42. I know it's hard to see. 42. All right, and then these two angles are the same. So 42 plus X will be 180. And that will help me to find angle E. Holy hot dog, you guys. I'm so excited. We found a way to get to angle E. Okay, so I'm going to set this bad boy up. Let's use pink this time, or pretty pink. Okay, so 42 degrees plus my X plus my other X should add up to be 180 because that's what all the degrees in a triangle add up to be 180. Nice. All right, my two like terms are the X's, and X plus X is 2X. All right, so we have 42 degrees plus 2X equals 180 degrees. All right, let's solve this thing for X. So the way I bring my 42 to the other side is by subtracting it. Which 42 minus 42 cancels out in terms of 0. 180 minus 42 will give me a 138. So we have 2X equals 138. Holy hot dog, right? All right, you guys, on the way we bring 2 to the other side. 2 is secretly multiplying to my X, so the way we bring it over is by dividing both sides by 2. All right, and 2 divided by 2 cancels and turns to 1. 138 divided by 2, that will give me, let me think for a second. 2 into 138 is, I'm just going to do it. Sometimes mental math just takes too long. So 2 into 138, 2 goes into 13 6 times, so it'd be 69. Okay, sorry you guys. So my answer for angle X is 69 degrees. Yay! So that would be my measure of angle E. So the final thing, the measure of angle E equals 69 degrees. Yeah, we worked our way to angle E. So this is, this is 69, and that's 69. Holy hot dog, you guys. Wasn't this fun? I love triangle problems. I think they're just like a big puzzle. Kind of working your way through, it's a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it like I did. And I'll be back for the next example in just a moment.